My first guest is Ruth Ann Bailey Miller. She's with the Sisterhood of Grace in Visalia. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So this is my first introduction to you, so
Okay.
tell us and me and our audience a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to talk about the Sisterhood of Grace.
Okay, a little bit myself. Well, I was born in Wisconsin, moved out here to California when I was 3 years old, and I've pretty much been raised and grown up in the Central Valley. Lived in San Diego for 8 years, and then returned back to Tulare County to recover and move forward in my life as far as going back to school and working on my degrees. And now in the process of finishing my master's degree at Fresno Pacific University.
Excellent, excellent, good endeavors, and also a very, very excellent school. The Sisterhood of Grace, tell us a little bit about what you do, and then we're going to talk about the inspiration for it.
Okay, well, what we do is we come alongside of women in trauma and crisis, providing healing and support. And in that, we build a trust and rapport both inside the Tulare County Jail and also in the community. And then what we do is we offer a message of hope. We role model what that's supposed to look like in our own lives, walking out our own, consider us life coaches, where we have walked these areas in our own life out. In the process, we come alongside of other women, role model that to them while they learn the new tools and the resources that they need in order to go forward.
Okay, excellent. Was this your dream or your brainchild, so to speak?
Yes, I think it was part of the plan all along.
Okay,
Yes,
excellent.
I grew up in church, and being raised in a Christian home, my parents were missionaries, and they met actually in Wisconsin at a missionary training school. But however, and with that, growing up as the youngest of 4 children, was exposed to things in California that my mother was ignorant to, because she was born and raised in Canada on a farm, and California is not like Canada. And did not realize that I was being abused, in our own home, and because of that, that's where the trauma started in the abuse for myself. And so then I continued having compound trauma in my life, but kept silent from it. And because of that, it would show in my relationships, and my picker was broken. And so I would end up being in abusive relationships that would then send me back out, and then my children would be also affected by that. And then it got to where I was not safe in the church. I really wasn't safe anywhere, because wherever I went, there it was with me. And needing to get help, and had a therapist who was working with me, but in the process needing more than that. I needed a safe community, and so created Sisterhood of Grace as a place for myself to heal, and then realizing that in the process of that, as I was walking out my own even drug addiction, and then also walking out all of the abuse in my own life, that other women needed the same thing, and with that started it 5 years ago, and now growing.
Okay.
Growing.
Excellent. Now, do you have a facility that you work out of, or what's your base of operations?
Well, we have an office, and it's in downtown Visalia right now. That's our corporate office. We do hold our outpatient or our group classes that we have there daily, from 10 to 12, Monday through Friday, and then we also have closed group classes, and those are offered various times during the afternoon, and hoping to open up more in the evenings. We also go into the Tulare County Bob Wiley Detention Facility. We're doing that now 5 years. We are contracted with the Tulare County Sheriff's Department, and where we actually do almost what you would consider an in-house treatment, only because they are women that are in detention, and we do the same thing there, building that trust and rapport with them inside so that they can follow us out. The Tulare County Probation has just recently acknowledged and approved us as being a resource provider in our community, and where they will now continue to refer women in our direction, because they're seeing the proof of the women that are working with us and how they are going forward. They're not going back.
Okay. So yeah, so you're starting then when folks are still incarcerated.
Yes.
and trying to change that course, change that path.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Have you become part of the official probation program, or is this?
I'm getting ready to do a presentation probably the next week.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
But I've already had the division manager and the director of BI, which is the behavioral intervention. Both of them have already came to the office, and I've done a site tour, and they've already approved it. And they have women coming from that are on monitors and coming to our office. Then we have women that are in the community that are also coming to our office, who are also probably needing to have some help too. And then what they're doing is they're being able to sit in on these classes, and then basically as they go and walk through these, then they get to turn around and then facilitate to others that are coming.
Oh yeah, everybody, we're all human beings, all of us.
That's right.
We all make mistakes. We
right.
we mess up on a daily basis. Some mistakes that folks make have a long-lasting effect. And we're going to, the next two segments, we're going to be dealing with law enforcement. And, it's, the key, though, is to be able to, once these folks have been through the system, that they don't come back.
That's right.
A friend of mine one time, he found himself in a serious jam, and he actually shared with me his probation papers, and it was a little letter from the judge, and it basically said, please, we recommend that you avoid the circumstances in the future that led to your arrest. We just don't want to see you again. I thought that was very good.
Right.
Just avoid those situations. But a lot of folks, I'm sure a lot of the women that you're working with, right,
Yeah.
they have been in this cycle. It's a family
That's right.
generational cycle,
That's right. It is, and it's a matter of breaking the silence. And so, like I was saying previously in my own situation, where I didn't feel like I didn't feel safe that I could talk about the things that had happened to me within my own family, let alone within my our own home. Where I'm being sexually abused or being raped. That I could share those things, with my own parents. And so then because of that silence continues to just stay there. And so it's a matter of breaking that silence, and then in the process of doing that, then we can work towards breaking the cycle of violence in their lives. And once we do that, those people, places, and things will just dissolve and go away, which is usually what causes them to keep going back around that same mountain.
Right, and when there is no platform or no one that you can, because of all the trust issues involved,
exactly.
then that's what then leads to the only place you're going to be able to kill the pain is with drugs and alcohol.
Exactly. It's only a symptom. It's not the root issue.
Right, and that gets to it. So,
Yes.
how many women do you have in your program now that you're working with?
We are currently working with I have about 20,000 seeds planted in the county of Tulare. Actually, they leave and they go, and so they
Right.
could be not even in Tulare County. They're probably some in Fresno and
Right.
Santa Barbara and places like that. But currently working with about 80 women that are working through the 12-step spiritual journey. So working out those steps, working on the foundation of that, and then also with their walk in God. We're faith-based. And then within the group, as far as the outpatient, as far as at the office, we average around anywhere from 10 to 15 women on a daily basis. And then we try to keep our small groups to around 10 at the minimum, just because they need an opportunity to have time to share.
Okay. Now, with your staff and those that are helping you, you have mentors, right, that are helping these women walk through these tough times in their
Yes.
life. How many folks do you have on staff or volunteers?
I
that
would
are
say
helping?
around 12.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're developing quite an operation there.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes.
So now the next natural question is, how do you manage to keep the doors open, and how can we help you?
Well, my co-partner over there, her and her husband have been very generous and believing in what I'm doing, and it's been a win-win for all of us as far as relationship, where we both have had to walk out some crisis or trauma in our own lives and have built a new relationship in that. I am married, and so my husband is he's my first and last.
Okay.
And he fully supports what I do, and so that helps. I have a mother who definitely supports me more in prayer than anything, because she was missionary, so missionary study don't really make a whole lot of money. But we do have our 501c3 in place, so we are a nonprofit organization. And we do fundraisers through with the women, and then outside of that. So if you are wanting to support in what we're doing, yes, you definitely can contact me through my email or by calling me at 471-9171, or you can send a check, a large check, to P.O. Box 1533, Visalia, California,
Right.
93279.
And Billy has your website on the
Yes.
screen there, so
Yes.
you can contact her also through that. This is
Yes.
a really good deal. And so, folks, everybody, we do a lot of different things on this show for
Right.
veterans. We do political stuff. We
Yes.
do business stuff. We try to help a lot of students also that are traveling overseas. And so, folks, your instruction is the website is there. Go visit that. Make the phone ring. Number one, offer to help in some way with your
Yes.
hands as a volunteer,
Yes.
and then step up to the plate and help out with a gift of any size.
Yes. Sponsor
Okay.
a woman, sponsor a
These-
class. Yes.
Yeah, these folks are doing a good work here, and it's for the betterment of all of us, and most of all, helping our fellow man who is in dire straits and needs at very tough times in their life. So anyway, Ruth Ann, thanks for coming in.
Yes, thank you.
It's been great, and the website is on the page, folks, and make me proud of you in the next 2 days and hit that thing pretty hard. Okay, we're going to be right back after these messages.